Okay, so now we're moving on into bar graphs. Okay, on a bar graph, the first thing you want to do before you even read the question is identify the information. So number of students' votes. So this down here, your X is the number of student votes, just like when we did coordinates. The Y is the types of pizza: sausage, mushroom, pepperoni, and cheese. And then this is your data on the inside. Well, the best thing to do is to label your data. So I know the sausage, if this is 20 and this is 24, that means this line right here would be 22. This one would be 12. Pepperoni would be between 4 and 8, so we're counting by twos. So that one would be 6, and then cheese would be 8. Okay, so the easiest thing to do is to label your bars. And then it says which statement is best supported by the graph. All right, it says the number of students who voted for mushroom pizza is 2 times the number of students who voted for sausage. Okay, so the number of students who voted for mushroom is 2 times greater. So look at the number of mushrooms. It's 12. 12 times 2 is not, could it be 22? Okay. And then it says mushroom would have been bigger. So it would have been 2 times bigger than sausage, which was not the case. Okay, B, the number of students who voted for sausage pizza is 13 more than the number of students who voted for cheese. So sausage is 22, cheese is 8, and we're going to subtract. 12 minus 8 is 4. Bring down the 1. Well, that's not 13 more, it's 14 more. Oops, sorry. So it can't be B. C says the number of students who voted for pepperoni pizza is 6 fewer than the number of students who voted for mushroom. So we're looking at mushroom and pepperoni. And it says pepperoni is 6 fewer. Well, mushroom had 12. Pepperoni has 6. And we're looking for fewer. So we're subtracting. 12 minus 6 is 6. So that means that would be correct. Okay. The number of students who voted for cheese pizza is 1 more than the number of students who voted for pepperoni. Cheese pizza beat pepperoni by 2, not 1. Okay, so you just have to read the questions and the answer choices and identify what is it asking you. Okay, on this one, it gave you a table. It says the table shows a math department's budget for the upcoming school year. Which bar graph best represents the data given in the table? So we're going to go through and we're going to label our data. So right here, this one would be 2,400 or 2,400. Okay, if we're going from 0 to 400, that means this line in between is 200. So we're counting by 200. So 800 plus 200, that would be 1,000. This one would be 1,000, and then another one in between, that would make that 1,100. This one would be 1,000, 600, 600. Okay, so I don't see any 900s on here, so I know that one's not going to be it. Okay, this one is 2,400. This one would be 900 because it's in between 8 and 10. So that would be 900. So this one would be 8. And that's 1,000. That would be 12. So that one would be 1,100. This is 800. And it's between 800 and 1,000. That would be 900. Okay. This one's right on the line for 400. And this one's right on the line between 400 and 800, so this one would be 600. Well, this 400 throws everything off because there's not a 400 in my chart. So that one's out. Okay, so let's look at this one. So we have 2,400. Okay, between 8, and this would be 10 or 1,000. So between 800 and 1,000, that would be 900. Okay, between 1,000 and 1,200, that would be 1,100. Between 800 and 1,000, that would be 900. This one would be between 4 and 800, so that's 600. And this one is between 6 and 800, so that would be 700. All right, so let's focus on that 700. I don't remember seeing a 700 in my table. Okay, so that one would be out. Okay, 2,400. If this is 8, and that's 12, that means this is 1,000. So between 800 and 1,000 is 900. Okay, between 1,000 and 1,200, that's 1,100. Okay, between 8 and 1,000, that's 900. Between 400 and 600, that would be 500. Between 400 and 800, that would be 600. All right, so let's look. It says calculators is $2,400 or 2,400. Okay, $2,400. Manipulatives is 900. So find manipulatives, it should be 900. Paper should be 1,100 or 1,100. There's paper, 1,100. Software should be 900. So software, 900. AV supplies should be 500. AV supplies, 500. And then other or miscellaneous, it should be 600. So that means our answer would be J. Okay? All right. Let's look at it like this. The table below shows the number of people who went to a movie each night on 4 nights. Which graph represents the data in the table? So one night they had 75 people. 2 nights it was 200 people. 3 nights 125 people. 4 nights 175 people. So we're going to look at the number of people and the number of nights. So one night should be 75. So it should fall right between 50 and 100. So 75. Okay. 2 nights is 200. Right on the line. 200. 3 nights is 125. So there's 100. There's 150. So right in the middle would be 125. 4 nights is 175. 150. There's 200. Between 150 and 200 is 175. So this is a possible yes. Okay. Each person or sick person represents 25 people. So 25, 50, 75. That one's good. 25, 50, 75, 100. So night 2, there should have been 200. So that one's out. Okay. On J, that's 25. And then, oh no, it says each person represents 50. So 50 plus a half of a person is 75. Okay. So if a whole person is 50, half of a person would be 25. So this one, 51, 52. That's 200. 51, 50. 51, 25. Okay, so night 1 was 75. That one's right. Night 2 is 200. That one's right. Night 3 was 125. So that's where it lost it right there. Okay. Let's look at this one. This would be 175, 125, 200, 75. Night 1 should be 75. They've got 175. Okay, so graphing with a bar graph is just like what you've done a million times before. Say you've made a color chart and you asked people's favorite colors. Okay, and over here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and you said blue, green, orange, and yellow. And say 2 people liked blue, 3 people liked green, 2 people liked orange, and only 1 person liked yellow. So that would be your bar graph. Okay, colors, number of people. Okay, but the only thing you need to know about a bar graph is that you're always going to have an X and a Y, and that your X and Y are going to have a name. Okay, so like on this one, the X is the number of students, the Y is the ice cream flavor. Okay, on this one, the X is the number of, or the day, and the Y is the number of bags sold. This one is the number, and this is the neighborhood. Okay, so everything, they all have a title. They have a label. So on this survey, this is a pet, and this is the number of people that have those pets. So according to this graph, which statement would be true? Okay, so look at it. According to this graph, which statement would be true? Would it be A, twice as many people prefer dogs to fish? B, most people do not prefer horses as pets because they are too big to care for? C, many people prefer fish as pets because they're easy to care for? Or D, 5 more people prefer cats to birds? Well, you could have gone in and then labeled them 40, 35. So this would have been about 28, 23, 30. Okay. So look at it, and what would you say? Okay. All right. Twice as many people prefer dogs to fish. Dogs to fish. Well, 40 is not twice 28. So if I took 28 and multiplied it by 2, I would get something bigger than 40. So it can't be A. B says most people do not prefer horses as pets because they are too big to care for. Well, there's only a small difference between horses and fish. Okay, and this is making an assumption that you can't answer. We don't know that. Okay, C, many people prefer fish as pets because they're easy to care for. Fish wasn't the biggest number, was it? It was actually dog. So that is also an assumption. 5 more people prefer cats to birds. Well, I had 35 cats and 30 birds. Difference being 5. So your answer would have been D. Okay. So on your assignment today, pay very close attention to the questions. Okay. Use your chart if you need to. Draw it out on your scratch paper or in your journal. But do the best that you can on it. If you need help with any of these tables, please send me a message, either email or through Clever, and we can set up a Google Meet. I would love to meet with you to work out any questions that you may have.